Whoa! Boy, you guys got started without me. Hey everybody, it's Ira Miller with Homes Around the Villages YouTube channel. Man, I see all of this chatting going on. That's great.
18 people starting.
Very good, very good. So, welcome everybody this evening to our, what do we call this? A bi-monthly?
Bi-weekly, or was that twice a week?
Yeah, it's twice a week. This is my Ed McMahon for all of you who remember the Johnny Carson show. Right? All right, so looks like my buddy Kevin, he got the jump on everybody. So hey, what's up, Kevin? I don't know if Karen's there with you, but hello to her. Doug, I guess Doug and Kevin were really going back and forth. So let me catch up with y'all, okay? Very chilly in Rhode Island. Well, I wish it's summer here already, I think. What was it, like 88 degrees?
84 right now.
84, mostly sunny. I was hoping it was going to rain, but it didn't rain. Anyways, hey, so Drew and Kevin talking back and forth. You ready for some Florida weather, huh? Yeah. Well, I just hope it cools off one more time. I hear there's a big snowstorm coming up y'all's way. All right, Drew, thank you very much for the part 2 of the cleaning up video. So, yeah, thought we had Astor Way sold and got some investor guy who was buying up like 4 or 5 properties in the villages and is going to put them into the rental program there. And I guess for whatever reason, he backed out of my home on Astor Way. So that was a little upsetting, but it does have an original roof and it has an original air conditioner, and I think that was probably what his biggest cause was. But it is what it is, right? So I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I mean, the air conditioner works, the roof works. It's a 2006, so the roof is 16 years old. It's a 30-year rated roof. So anyways, it probably has at least, I don't know, 5, 6, 7 years left of life for sure left on it. But anyways, hey, how do y'all like my nice Easter shirt? I dressed up in my Easter shirt for y'all. I don't know how it's coming out on camera, but my blues and pinks, and so just a holdover. So happy belated Easter to everybody. Happy Passover to my Jewish friends out there, which runs, everybody may or may not know, runs for 8 days, so it's over Saturday night, so it's still going on for Passover. So Good Friday to Easter, there's 3 days there, 8 days, they kind of usually correspond with each other. Anyways, let's get started. So,
That paper?
yeah, that paper I left in over there by my phone. So
I'm going to grab both.
all right, go ahead and do that. So anyways, hi Sandy. Sandy K showed up tonight. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Kevin, thank you for the photos of Big Boy Geo. We're going to show those a little bit later. I'm actually going to wait for some people more people to show up before we go ahead and show everybody Geo in his Easter best. Okay. Let's see what else. We had the heat on it since October. Wow. So I hesitate because I'm thinking, I know the heating costs have gone up quite a bit since October too. So I'm just going to stay out of that one. Cold in Indiana, cold in Rhode Island. Drew, where are you? Can't remember. Oh my gosh, they had snow in Indiana. My niece is in Indiana. She lives up there. She's married to a cop on the SWAT team up there. So, let's see.
I didn't see the paper. Is it in your cart maybe?
You didn't see the paper? You want to talk to the people?
No, I'll check your car though.
No, it's not in my car. It's out there on a counter somewhere.
Okay.
It's kind of rolled up.
Okay.
I was just rolling it up. All right, sorry about that. I'm trying to get actually, hold up. Got my trusty iPad here. We had a question, and that's what Christian's looking for. Is he's looking for the question of the day, I guess. Anyways, I'm sure he's going to find it before I do. What the heck? Oh. Sorry for the delay. Going through all these emails. I get so many emails, I have to hire Blakely to go through them all because there's just way too many. She kind of sorts them out for me. Then she tells me the ones that I need to talk about and take care of. But there was one that came from, was it Sandra? Yeah. All right, Sandy. So Sandy is on. She's on with us. So Sandy, we're gonna get to your question right away. Let me just kind of go through. Oops. All right. I got it, Christian.
It was in the laundry room.
I got it. All right. So everybody, Jerry Bell, thank you for joining us. Somebody's calling me from Indianapolis. Let's take this call while we're on the air. That'll be different. Hello, this is Ira.
Hi, Ira. My name is Mike. I just watched a video of you on YouTube.
Well, Mike, I'm actually on a live stream on my YouTube channel as we speak.
As we speak?
Yes, sir.
What are you talking about?
I do a live stream twice a month, every other Monday.
Okay.
So we are doing a live stream. You're actually on the live stream. I just answered while I was doing my live stream.
So the whole world's listening to our conversation?
Yeah. Why don't I call you after I'm done?
I understand, Ira. I'll let you go.
All right. Thank you.
I'll look for your live stream. Bye.
Bye. All right. So I guess Mike didn't want to be on the
On the air.
on the air.
45.
What's 45?
Viewers.
Okay, cool. All right, Sandy. So she had a great question, right? It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas. That's what Mike says. Oh my gosh, you guys. So I guess y'all know I'm from Florida. And I can't even imagine. I don't know. I can't even imagine it's snowing in the middle of April. That's pretty crazy.
I wouldn't be sweating like I was.
Yeah. Oh, hey, by the way, everybody was complaining about my squeaky chair. So I want to give Christian kudos. I bought it, but I went ahead and Christian put it together for me this evening. So look, no more squeaking. I think Sandy was one of the ones that really didn't like that squeaking. Anyways, Montana's cold, snowing in Buffalo. Whoa. Man, that is wild. It was like up to 88 degrees here, guys. So you guys need to come on down to Florida. And you won't have to have the heat on anymore, Kevin. Okay, so Sandy, I keep saying Sandy, can you tell us about the pros and cons of taking out a mortgage for the purchase of a home in the Villages? Oops. Before selling our current home, then paying off the mortgage after selling our home. We are finding this idea helps give us the time to find the right home rather than jumping at the first one. See you on the live show later today. Thank you very much for that question, Sandy. I really appreciate it. As all of you, please come to the Monday Night Live with questions. That's what this is all about. This is a live interaction for me to answer your questions live. This way you don't have to, I really appreciate you doing that and giving me a heads up, Sandy. That's cool. And everybody else can do that too. Homes around the Villages, right? At gmail.com. That's all you got to know. So, pros and cons. Absolutely. So let me just give you a little story first of all, which kind of answers your question. I have some people, Mark and Marcy. We're going to leave out last names for everybody just to kind of keep the anonymity going, all right? Mark and Marcy. I can't tell you how many homes we've kind of tried to go after because Mark and Marcy have a home that they're selling up north, and it's closing, thankfully, on Friday. But for the past couple of months, it seems like 2 months, maybe it's only a month, but anyways, I can't tell you how many homes I've gone out and videoed for them. And when we go to make an offer, it either gets sold, but the fact of the matter is, Sandy, if you have got a contract on your home, but you don't have your home sold yet, I have to protect you and your interests, okay? So here's the whole process of how it has to go down. Hopefully there's no other realtors listening. This is only between us. But the sale of buyer's property is a killer in this market right here, okay? Anytime anybody submits an offer, cash offer, whatever, the sale of buyer's property is just a deal killer. Sellers don't have to deal with it. Put it that way. They don't have to deal with a sale of buyer's property addendum and then hope and pray that your property closes so you can close on their home. They're just not going to want to do it in this market, not when homes are selling in under a week. So, so there's part of the pros of getting a mortgage and just, so, all right, so let's talk about that. So there's different, so cash is king in this market, all right? Anybody who comes in with a cash offer and is at or over asking price is pretty much probably going to win, in a multiple offer situation. Definitely, if you have a sale of buyer's property addendum, that's just a deal killer. The next worst thing, I shouldn't say worse, that sounds bad, but the next thing under that is financing. So if you have a cash offer or a finance offer, what's the seller going to go with? They're going to go with the cash offer almost every time, unless you just make an overwhelming, overpriced offer on the home. Then they might take a chance. But yeah, so even with that said, getting financing in place. Here's what I tell a lot of people. So my first question to you is going to be, could you pay cash for this home if you had to? And why do I ask that question? I'm not trying to get into your personal business. I'm not trying to be nosy or anything like that. The reason I ask that is because there's a couple boxes that you can check. One says cash, one says finance. If you could pay for this home, if you had to in cash, then what I would say is, let's check the cash box. You can finance. If you want to get a mortgage and finance, and that's what I'm saying. I'm hoping other realtors, can't catch on to some of these little secrets I have. But if you have the cash to back you up, but if you have the cash, you're going to be able to get financing. That's all there is to it. That's a given. The bank's going to say, we're going to lend these people this amount of money, but they've got this amount of money in their bank, or in their investments or whatever. And I understand about not wanting to touch your investment. So I get that. That's why you want to go with finance. But if we can check off the cash box. So here's another little secret that I have is giving a large deposit. So if we're giving a large deposit, we have got to protect that large deposit, okay? We call it escrow money, or EMD, escrow money deposit. That's kind of what it's really called. That's the technical term for it. So if you have the money to back yourself up, but you want to get financing anyways, great. One of the cons on getting financing are closing costs. You're going to pay probably about $6,000 in closing costs. However, some people are saying, well, I'm going to sell my home. I'll wait till I sell my home, and I'll come down and rent. Well, depending on the time of year you rent, you're probably going to pay a very, very, very minimum bottom line of $1,500. So that's 4 months of rent for the cost of closing costs for financing. So you have to weigh it out. What do you want to do? Do you want to put your home on the market? Do you want to go ahead and get the money, the cash in hand? Do you want to go ahead and rent for 2, 3, 4 months? That's an option you might want to think about as well, rather than the $6,000 in closing costs that you're going to incur with finance. Now, a lot of that stuff are write-offs. Okay, so your interest is all a write-off on your taxes if you need write-offs on your taxes. The closing costs are write-offs. So you have to kind of weigh, to what advantage does going with financing do for you. So I know that was a long, drawn-out answer, but there are pros and there are cons. There are options, different options you can think about. So there's no real just straight answer, yes, finance, no finance, or whatever. Those are your different options of what I would tell you. If you need the write-offs, then by all means, go ahead and get your financing. If you have the money in investment account and you're going to get financing, then we'll check the cash box. Like I said, even though it's not cash, even though it's going to be financing, to give us the strongest advantage that we can with a large deposit that we can. I have a few more tricks up my sleeve that I won't divulge here on Monday Night Live, because I know sometimes realtors do watch this, and when we're competing against others, we want to have the advantage, right? We want to have the advantage. I'm probably going to have Christian cut this part out when we put it onto our channel tomorrow. Okay, Christian?
Yep.
Sir? Thank you. Because we don't want to give up all our secrets, right? We want to do the best we can for you and give you the best advantage that we can. So there you go. So Sandy, I hope that answered your question. If not, or if you have something you would like to add to that, let me know. Go ahead and put it in the chat.
Rock Godinger is your next question.
True. He liked my ringtone. Do you like Sia? I like my ringtone. It's kind of appropriate if you listen to the words, right? Thanks, Drew. And thank you about the chair as well. All right, so thanks, Teresa. It's still a little... Guess not. We're breaking it in.
Yeah, give it some time.
All right, so where are we, Christian?
Rock Godinger is your first question in the chat to answer.
Where's Rock?
He's about halfway, it looks like.
Oh my gosh. Paul, Pennsylvania snow, 33 degrees. That's just crazy. Nancy, she's coming down to live here in Florida, right, Nancy? It won't be long. So there you go. Nancy says we sold our home and are renting right now. Best thing we ever did.
No.
Okay. So, great question, Rock. What is the better grass, Empire Zoysia or St. Augustine? Well, I guess I would say St. Augustine. Here's the deal with St. Augustine. I have St. Augustine in my yard. And I have the best yard in the neighborhood. Everybody compliments me about my yard. I take care of my yard myself. I don't have anybody cut it. I don't have anybody spray it. I do it all myself. So that's part of my stress release. But St. Augustine is native in Florida. Well, I don't know if it's native in Florida, but it is the native yard grass in Florida that everybody uses. Empire Zoysia is a, what do you call that? It's a modified strand of Zoysia. It's a hybrid that regular Zoysia just wouldn't cut it in the Florida heat. So they came up with this hybrid of Empire Zoysia. But, and they're saying, well, Empire Zoysia is better bug resistant, but I don't think it can handle, it goes dormant in the wintertime. It's brown, real brown in the wintertime when it freezes. But here's the deal. Rock, everybody I talk to, not everybody, but most of the people I talk to who come from up north say, oh, that's crabgrass. We try to kill that stuff up where I come from. Well, or they say it's real spongy, or what else do they say about it? I don't know, the blades are real thick. People aren't used to our kind of grass up here. But I think if you know how to take care of St. Augustine, it is a real thick grass and spongy and it just seems like Empire Zoysia, unless you really know what you're doing, it's hard to keep that stuff looking good. But my home on Astor Way, we started off the show with, is Zoysia, and it had a bunch of weeds in it. I went out and got me some weed and feed, and then I think on this one, that you, Drew, that was talking about my video? Yeah. That was Drew. So you'll see me over there doing a weed and feed. And man, it's looking really good. I was over there today. Looks great. Nice and green. The weeds are gone. Looks good.
Maybe we'll do an update if you want.
Yeah, maybe we should do that before and after. Yeah. All right, so y'all like my shirt? This is my hypnosis shirt, right? You like that? Kind of. I guess this could be a
Bring back the 70s.
A Van Gogh shirt, the Starry Night shirt, right? Bring back the 70s. My wife asked me. I broke this out just for Easter dinner. And I thought, I'm going to wear it on Monday Night Live tonight. So I broke it back out because she goes, you never wear my She bought me this shirt, by the way. So I'm happy y'all are digging on the shirt because she'll really like to hear that. She should be coming in too. Oh, Jamie's not feeling well. Darn, my daughter's home. She got a new car. I bought her a new car for her graduation. She's graduating college, which I'm happy about. And she's going on to her master's degree, which I'm very happy about. So I rewarded her with a new car because her car that I bought her about 6 years ago has 192,000 miles on it. So she was ready. And then when I took her to the car dealership, the service department, they wanted $8,000 to fix everything that was wrong with it. And the car is not even worth $8,000. So, anyways, Jerry, it's Miller time. Thank you, sir. This thing keeps going. All right. Let's see. All right, so Karen's doing good, right, Kevin? I like that. Is she 100%?
She can't play pickleball till September.
She's not 100%. Dang. How many resale homes available at present in On Top of the World? Okay. Our property tax is much less in On Top of the World. So thanks, guys, for these questions. We're going to go to
Yes.
We're going to go to show you here, sorry. You want to see how many homes are on top of the world? I'll be happy to show you. Now, as everybody knows, I think by now, well, I was one of the ones who thought that, that On Top of the World was nothing but leasehold, where you don't own the land. So for years and years and years and years, I stayed away from On Top of the World. I just thought leasehold, a lot of people poo-pooed the leasehold. I knew nothing about it. And so, I just stayed away from it. Obviously, since then, I've learned much more about it, sold plenty of homes in the leasehold area and as well as the owner-maintained area, right? So, owner-maintained area, you own it and you maintain it. $299 a month in the HOA fee for the owner-maintained, and then the leasehold properties are three. Well, we're going to find out actually. So we'll get rid of the villages. We're going to go to On Top of the World. Okay, so here's the deal with On Top of the World. I have to search in three different areas. So Candler Hills, right? That's one area of On Top of the World. And Indigo East. So I know we've talked about all these before, but these are all the homes that are available in On Top of the World. 44 matches. Y'all see down there at the bottom left-hand corner? Oh, sorry, we have to go to Marion County because there is another On Top of the World over there around Tampa. So there you go, 17 matches. I thought 44 was a lot. 17 matches, okay? And do we want to see what they are? Let's look. So On Top of the World, see where it says Unit E, Unit C, Unit C, Unit D, Unit A, all those. Those are your attached units. And those are a pretty hot commodity right now. Why? Because of the price that they're in. I mean, 169.9, 183, 183, 189, 206. Anybody who wants to be under 200,000, you have to pretty much have to be in one of these On Top of the World attached units. So, whoops. All right, so I was just trying to bring me down to the corner.
Okay.
Couldn't do it.
And you want me to help you with that real quick? Or?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. So we go.
We have to do the. Then.
Okay, there we go. See?
Now go back to your chat for
The miracles of technology, right? All right, so here we go. So right above us, right over here, right there, okay, you can see the year built. You can go over here and you can see, well, actually over there. Whoa. Getting out of my screen. But anyways, you'll see A, B, C, D, all that stuff. So it depends on what kind of price range you're in. So let's kind of go down. So here's all 17. This is number 17. Candler Hills, you'll see, are the more expensive homes. The bigger homes, the newer homes, 2019, 2020. I am finally happy to see some of these newer homes getting back on the resale market because for the longest time, you had no option other than, even the developer and On Top of the World didn't have spec homes. But now, if you want a newer home, there you go. There's some newer homes right there. 2459, 2658 square feet living area, 28 for $599. Golf course home for $599. Let me tell you something. So 2,806 square feet. You see up here where I just highlighted that? 3-car garage, all brick pavers. Look at the landscaping on this. On a golf course. Huge yard, big enough to put a pool in, for $599. Do you know what you would spend in the Villages on a home like this? You would spend $899 easy. That's $300,000 more for this home
And that'd be on a smaller lot, right?
Much smaller lot. Yeah. And you can't even get those homes anymore now that I think about it. That's a premier home size home. And they don't build premier homes anymore. Granite countertops, stainless steel, staggered cabinets, crown molding, stainless steel appliances. This is a beautiful tray ceilings. I mean, shoot. This room dwarfs this bed. I guess that might be a single or a full bed, but gorgeous. Look at those cabinets in that laundry room. Is that not crazy? $599. I mean, this is what you can get and on top of the world. Now, this home actually has a little courtyard area on the side as well as a lanai on the back. This is the side of the house. This is not in the back. This is the side. Now, this is the back. And look at that view. Unbelievable. Anyways, I'm all about the deal, guys. So I try to get you the best value that I can. I mean, I love the villages. A lot of people love the villages. They love the squares. They love getting around by golf cart. You can get around by golf cart on top of the world too. You can go shopping by golf cart. They have entertainment there. They have their own little square there. They don't have 3 giant ones like they do at the villages. They do have pretty much the same clubs that they have in the villages. Let me go over here just real quick. So $299 right here. This is your HOA fee, right? And ownership, fee simple. So that's what you want to look for. That right there, fee simple. And if I set you up in your auto email, then and you get a sheet like this from me, you want to look for the fee simple or leasehold. That'll tell you exactly what it is right there. So, anyways, are we good? How many resales? Okay, so Ernie, hopefully that answered your question of how many resales. There's 17, but it just depends on what you're looking for. But I'm going to tell you, inventory is going up. It's going up, up, up. Somebody else asked something about on top of the world. Oh, our property tax is much less in on top of the world. Okay, good, great question. All right, so let's talk about property taxes. So $5,172. No bonds in on top of the world, okay? $5,172 for a $599,000 home, 2,800 square feet. So here's what taxes look like. For this home, and again, who asked me that? Dwayne. So pretty much, property taxes aren't going to be that much different from one home, whether it's leasehold or whether it's owner maintained. Let's see, what am I looking for? Oh, taxes. Okay, so here's your tax bill. This is what taxes look like. Okay. What the heck? Mobile site. Okay, well, we'll have to do it the hard way here. I got it.
Okay.
Yeah, we're good. So we'll just, normally it just pops up on its own. here we just have to put this property ID, same as the account number is your property ID actually. So here you go, you press this little tax year button. Here's the tax bill. So the tax bill for last year, $2,100. So you can kind of see, guys, I mean 2019, 20, 21, it hasn't gone up that much at all. It really hasn't gone up in 4 years. From 17 to 21, it's gone up $100-something, right? So that's good. Shows a consistency anyways. This is the breakdown of the tax bill. So here's the difference between a tax bill in On Top of the World versus a tax bill in the villages. So a tax bill in the villages is going to include the bond and the maintenance fee. All that, the bond and the maintenance fee is going to be in the villages in this area. The non-ad valorem assessments, you would see your bond and maintenance fee down here, okay? So, so here's your taxes, your tax portions up here. This $50,000 that you see in this column is all your exemptions for being for this being your primary residence here in Florida. So taxes kind of equal themselves out when you start including the bond and including the maintenance fee that you have in your assessments. But here's the key part. This right here, this is called your millage rate. So everybody asks me, they go, so how much can I count on paying after I purchase this home? Well, what I tell them is, take the amount of property, take the amount that you paid for the property. So let's say it's $500,000, right? And 500, I multiply it by 75%. So 500,000, 75% is 375, okay? Hope you can read that. 375,000. Then what you do is you subtract 50,000. Here, over here, it's 349. So they probably paid a little bit less than 500,000 to get the assessed value. But this is how you figure your taxes. If everybody asks me, you know, am I going to pay more in taxes? Oh, I would say almost 100% of the time, because you're paying more for the house and the county is going to reassess the property and then you're going to pay more. But, so I'm telling you how you can figure this out. So if it's a $500,000 home, and then times it by 75, get your assessed value, and then you take your exemptions of $50,000 if it's your primary residence, if it's your permanent home, which a lot of people are making their Florida home, whether they have 2 homes or not, their primary. And then you get your taxable value, and then off your taxable value, you multiply the millage rate. Well, in order to multiply this millage rate, you take that decimal point and you bring it up around here, and you go 0.01640650, and then it's going to give you, this is going to be the amount that it gives you. So that's how you figure out what your taxes are going to be. I'll tell you, in Sumter County, it's like 11.6 something, right? So the millage rate is much lower, but you have the bond and you have the maintenance fee. So they kind of equal themselves out. So there you have it. All right, so Dwayne, hopefully, that'll do it for you. All right. So let's go back to our little chat room here. All right.
Still. And still. Now hit keep.
All right, we're back. So let me go back to our chat.
Jimala is your next question.
So I'm on the A10. Where my chat?
Hover over Chrome. That third window.
Okay. All right, so
Jimala's right under where Ernie's question was, in between him and Dwayne.
oh, Jamala?
Yep.
I have a question. Generally, how many recorded walkthroughs are done? How many recorded walkthroughs are done for a home buyer? So, are you talking about
I think maybe
for a new home? So, Jamala, are you talking about if you're building a new home? I'm assuming you're talking about building a new home, and how many walkthroughs are recorded. First of all, there's 0 recorded by the developer. Now there's a lot of people that are building a home and they're back north, and the superintendent calls them up and says, hey, we are at the framing stage and we're getting ready to do the drywall. So what I like to do is record that for you. And the reason I like to record it for you is because now you can see behind the walls. I'm going to make a video for you. I'm going to get with the superintendent. Now, if you can't make it down here, then you talk to your superintendent. You say, Superintendent, I would like for Ira Miller to do our walkthrough for us. He's our realtor. He's the guy that brought us to On Top of the World. And he's the guy that he wants to do the walkthrough for us. He's a licensed contractor. And we really trust what he's going to tell us. And we want him to do it. And I will meet the superintendent over there. I'll video the whole thing, so now you have a video record of your home before the drywall is up. And you can pretty much know where all the plumbing is and where all the electrical is, and it's really a great thing, in my opinion, from a contractor's standpoint, to be able to know what's behind that wall. Because if you ever go to, let's say, put a TV mount up on the wall, and you're wondering, what's behind there? Am I going to hit any electrical wires? You can't see through the drywall. So that really, I think, helps. So that's that. I'll do that if you want me to. And then the next time that you do the walkthrough is when the home is finished. So they kind of do 2. And that's, again, if you're talking about building a home. All right. So if that's not what you're asking, go ahead and let me know, and I'll try to answer it the best way I can. Jerry? No, don't boost Christian up like that. His head will go, won't be able to get out that door. So Nancy's saying, Dwayne, it is cheaper on the leasehold side in property taxes. I'll be honest with you, I never compared the two. We could. We possibly could. Let's see. Oh, first of all, before we get too far going, I don't want to forget. Because I'll be in big, big trouble if I forget. So I don't want to forget this. All right. It's the Geo Jacques Show. There we are. We are Easter Bunny in it. There's the man after Easter dinner, I guess. And there he, who, me? I didn't do nothing. I'm just sitting here playing with my bunny. There you go. Is that not adorable? Had to make sure I got that in there.
Makes you want to have another one?
Another what?
Kid.
Me?
Yeah. So
That's what grandkids are for. Thanks, Kevin, for sharing. Appreciate it. Love the pictures. Geo is in the house. Yes, he is. All right. What were we doing?
Oh, you see Jamala's at the very bottom.
I got my... Actually, I was asking how many times the potential buyer can ask you to take a video. Oh, of interesting property. Well, ask Marcy and Mark, because it's unlimited. Unlimited, because we're going to keep taking videos until we get you the house of your choice, right? So, I mean, I don't know. How many have I videoed for Mark and Marcy?
7 maybe now?
Christian knows because he edits all of them. He's saying about 7. But I go back to the sale of buyer's property early on. We just made an offer for Mark and Marcy that got accepted today. The reason it got accepted, because we did away with the sale of buyer's property addendum. They haven't closed on their house yet, and you're like, how can they do that? How could they do away with that safety net of sale of buyer's property? What if something falls through? Here's what we did. We wrote an as-is contract. Now, do not be fooled by the term as-is, okay? As-is doesn't really mean as-is. As-is is a contract that says that you, the buyer, are going to enter into this contract, and we're going to give you so many days, X amount of days, to have a home inspection, to walk through it. I critique it. I just did one with Bob and Maritza, and I pointed out all the stuff that I saw with the home. And then they had their home inspection, and pretty much that home inspector put exactly what I had pointed out in our walk around. So I kind of walk around it. We saw some stucco cracks. We saw some issues with the dishwasher. I don't know. There's a couple other things that I had pointed out, but that's what I'm there for. But anyways, an as-is contract says you have X amount of days. Usually when we say 15 days, but in this market, in this crazy buyer's market, sellers don't want to have their home off the market for 15 days while you make up your mind if you want that property or not. So they're going to say, hey, shorten that thing up. Shorten it up to 5 days or 7 days or 10 days. So I think the max I can get these days on an as-is 10 days. But anyways, you have the right to cancel this contract for any reason whatsoever on an as-is contract before the inspection period runs out, before the amount of days that we put in there. You can just say, I don't want it, give me my deposit back. Or you can say, you know what, the air conditioner isn't cold enough. You know, the inspector says that the return to the supply to the return isn't in the level of tolerance that it's supposed to be in, so you need to fix the air conditioner. They could either fix it, or you just say, give me my money back, give me my deposit, I'm gonna walk, and I'm out of here. So, with Mark and Marcy, what I did was, okay, they're closing on their home on Friday now. We have finally gotten within that window of tolerance for an as-is contract. So we did away with the sale of buyer's property. We just did an as-is contract. And worst case scenario, worst comes to worst, and their buyer doesn't close on Friday, they can cancel the contract. So they have that safety net in an as-is contract. So there you go. So, but Jamala, we will go out there and take as many videos as it takes to get you your home. So, and I've demonstrated that. Maybe I'll get Mark and Marcy on this channel and let them tell you how many times it took and get their perspective. But like I said, that sale of buyer's property addendum's just a killer, and that's why it took us so many times to do videos. And I kind of knew going out there that it was pretty much, it was a big gamble. I don't want to say it was a waste of time, but it was a big gamble that me going out there and shooting that video and then submitting an offer with the sale of buyer's property for that, if that was going to fly, and it didn't fly. So finally, and I kept telling them, it's the sale of buyer's property, the sale of buyer's property, the sale of buyer's property. That's a deal killer. So we got them. We got it. We finally got it done after about 7. All right, so Dana Life, hi Ira, what is the minimum down payment for financing for a Canadian purchaser? So that's going to be up to your lender. Different lenders have different programs. I know there's it's a 95% conventional mortgage. So you just put 5% down. Conventional mortgage is different from, let's say, an FHA or a VA, because FHA and VA have different rules. They have different, all of their appraisers are also inspectors. So you may have this home inspected. They're going to send their appraiser out there to appraise the home and make sure it has the value of what you're paying, but they're also going to inspect that home. And if that home doesn't check out, or if something's wrong with it, it could go on the blacklist for 6 months. And so a lot of sellers don't want VA or FHA loans, but there's different programs out there. So Matthew's Day in a Life, I would suggest you check with a local lender. So a lot of times I will refer Citizens First Bank. Citizens First Bank are pros for 55 plus communities because they are the village's bank. My wife works for Citizens First Bank, you know, so what is that? I'm just giving you full disclosure. My wife Patty works for Citizens First Bank, but she doesn't work for the mortgage department. She works in the administrative department. But anyways, I just find that they do a good job. They're local. They're a community bank. And so if you want a reference, I will give you a reference. Contact us and we'll send you the guy who we like to work with. Ira, with the interest rates going up, do you think that the house prices will start to go down? So it's all relative, Kevin. Meaning, not because the interest rates are going up, but because sales are slowing down because of interest rates, which is creating more inventory, and so more inventory, and so then it's not as competitive of a market, and so now prices are going to go down ultimately because of that. So hopefully that is clear. We're going to St. Pete's Beach in May. So, very well. St. Pete, love St. Pete. May, yeah, well, depending on when in May, because May is when the summer starts and kids start getting out of school. And it can get very crowded on St. Pete Beach and Clearwater Beach. So if you're going to go and stay on there, you know, just getting there is kind of an issue, but once you get there and you're settled in, great place. Awesome. It's beautiful over there.
There's one above where Dwayne's comment was, Cindy G. I think you missed that one.
Is there any way or anyone who can certify a pre-owned home is in ARC deed compliance? Is there any way or anyone who can certify a pre-owned home is in ARC deed compliance? I do not know what that means. Are you talking about Architectural Review Committee? Deed compliance? If you're talking about the Architectural Review Committee, is what I think you're talking about, then I would say we need to get you a copy of the deed restrictions and let you go through those deed restrictions. So, I mean, so for instance, I'll give you a for instance. Just sold a home to somebody in Oak Run, right? So Oak Run is a great community for people who are in the 200 to 250 range. It's just down the street from On Top of the World. And these people have 2 dogs. And both dogs are around, well, one dog's around, I think, 65 pounds. And I think the other one's about 80 pounds. And the deed restrictions say you can allow 2 dogs, but under 40 pounds. Well, I questioned that, you know, and I questioned it with the listing agent. The listing agent said, man, there's all kind of people in that community with dogs over 40 pounds. And if you drive around, especially in the morning, you see everybody walking their dogs, and yeah, they've got some pretty big dogs. So they're not in deed compliance. They know that going in. You can have a fenced in yard. And I'm going to tell you, as long as they're not a nuisance, no one's really going to say anything. But the first time that they're a nuisance, if they bark a lot, if they go after anybody, people are going to complain, and then you're going to be in trouble. So just know that going in to that. But as far as the Architectural Review Committee, you know, I'm really no longer on the Architectural Review Committee in my community. Just got overbearing. But anyways, you can call the property management office, whoever's managing the community. there's always a property manager in any big community. You call the property management office and say, just find out who the property management company is. In my case, it's Leland Management, and on Spruce Creek Country Club, it's Leland. In Stonecrest, it's Leland Property Managers. They're a big property management company who manages these HOAs. So, and on top of the world, they're self-governed in their HOA. The developer actually owns and maintains the HOA himself. He's kind of kept it in-house, and he's over the property management there. So not sure who it is in Stone Creek. But anyways, I'm not sure who it is in Oak Run either. But we can find out for you, and that's the best way to find out. So we could either send you the deeds if you really want to read through probably about 17 pages of deed restrictions. We can get the deed restrictions, we can send them to you, you can read them yourself. Or we can call the property management and say, hey, can you have somebody from the Architecture Review Committee come out, look this house over, I want to make sure it's in compliance. And if that'll make you feel better, you can do that. All right. So Cindy G, hopefully. All right, so Nancy, Mike and Nancy, Jamala, oh God. See, so everybody is jumping on the Christian bandwagon here. All right. I'm telling you guys, you're gonna mess me up here. Does Citizens First Bank do pre-approvals online? Yeah, they actually have an online pre-approval portal. That's a good one. Ed McMahon. You know who Ed McMahon is?
No.
You don't know? You need to Google Johnny Carson and Ed McMahon. That's his sidekick.
Is that where they got the Here's Johnny from?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Ed McMahon goes, here's Johnny.
I just know that from The Shining. But
So Jack Nicholson is how you know.
yeah.
And even that's an old movie. You're dating yourself. Are you sure you're...
It's a good horror movie. I like Stanley Kubrick.
Yeah, it is. All right, so let's see. Christian's helping me out. He's going through all the questions. Man, this is great. Thank you all so much for providing all these questions, because sometimes it gets a little tough. You don't want to hear me just talk and just rattle on about any old thing anyways, right?
You have two at the bottom. Right.
So Ricky P, have you a little margarita or a pina colada for me when you get to St. Pete's Beach. Okay. Are water softeners or water purifiers necessary in the homes around the villages? I would say yes, because the water is hard, it has lime, it's hard. So years and years and years ago, I guess around 2004, we had 3 hurricanes come through this area. It was incredible. We never get hurricanes. In 1 year we get 3. Well, I forget which was Gene, Francis, and Charlie. I remember all 3 names. I don't remember which one it was, but after the first one, I said, we're not doing this again. And when the second one was coming, I rented a home in the villages because I knew all the utilities were underground there. So if the power went out, chances are it'd be back up probably quicker than anywhere else. Rather than waiting for power lines to be restrung or transformers to be put back up, if you have underground utilities, then yeah, they won't be down much. And it's only because the power substation went down. But anyways, stayed there, and I had a water softener in my house where I lived at the time. And man, I went to the Villages, and I'm like, this place needs a water softener. Because it was so hard, and you even get kind of lime rings around the faucets and stuff. And then where the aerators are, where the water comes out, the aerators, yeah, I would say you need a water purifier or a water softener. Is it standard for the air conditioning units to have a dehumidifier? No, it is not standard to have a dehumidifier. And I'm going to tell you, probably the only reason you need a dehumidifier is that if you're going to be gone for long, extended periods of time in your home, and you just don't want to run that air conditioner that much, instead of setting it to like 80 degrees, you can probably set it to like 85. And so heat's not going to really hurt or bother your home. It's the humidity inside the home. You want to keep the humidity out of the home. So what that dehumidifier does is it's a humidistat. Really, it's not the air conditioner is the dehumidifier. But the humidistat is the programmable dial that will kick your air conditioner on if the humidity gets over a certain level on that. So you want to keep that dial, down to, I guess, 60, maybe 60% humidity. If it ever gets over 60% humidity in your house, that air conditioner is going to kick on, and then it's going to dehumidify your home. That's what air conditioners do. Okay, so we cleared that one up, hopefully. So, Ernie, good questions. You keep coming back. Oh, that was Patricia, I'm sorry. And Ernie's question about water softeners or water purifiers, that was a great question as well. So I always like to tell that story about the hurricanes. So haven't had any here in a long time, and hopefully it stays that way. Although I'm still thinking about getting me a whole house generator.
Here we have a portable one.
You know why? Because they're talking about Russia going after the electric grid in this country. So if they shut down our electric grid, I'm going to need a whole house generator. And I don't get a solar panels, because if a hurricane was to come through here, those solar panels are going to be flying objects, more than likely, and then you're without power anyways. So I thought about that. I thought, man, solar panels, that would be great. But I'm just afraid if a hurricane came through and just ripped those solar panels off your roof, you're in big trouble.
Or it's cloudy the whole time, you don't get any sun.
Well, usually when hurricanes come through, they go whew. So it might be cloudy for a day or two, but I think a whole house generator. Plus I have gas where I'm at. Where I live, we have natural gas. Just hook that bad boy up to a natural gas. Good to go. And I won't even have to fill it up with gasoline or diesel or none of that. All right. Does Citizens First Bank do pre-approvals online? I think we answered that. Wise Christian Channel, thank you very much. I'm happy you enjoy my shows. I enjoy them too. So, thank you for joining us tonight, actually. All right, so let's see. It is 7:15. Seems like everybody, oh, wait a minute. I thought Kevin was #1 on the chat. It was Drew. Hey, Ira and Chad, hope it all is well. 38 degrees in New Jersey. Yeah, I'd have a blue man face too. 38 degrees.
Look at the very bottom who's watching.
What's the low? Ooh, there's somebody else over here. Oh, that's true too. He's still freezing. But Mike says it's 37 and snow in Buffalo. So he's got you beat there, Drew, with the snow, I think. Yep, 84 in the Villages. Yes, sir. Clarence. I'm trying to decipher what Mike is talking about. Who's Clarence? Wow, that's crazy. Thank you very much for my chair. I really like my chair. Just going through, just making sure I got everybody. If I missed you, go ahead and repost your question there at the bottom. So, yep, Nancy finally got her a lot and on top of the world. I'm very happy about that. Oh my gosh. We don't even want to go through that fiasco, do we? Oh, hey, so Ricky. Well, look at Jamie Miller. Jamie Miller popped in. Jamie Miller likes my shirt. Jamie Miller was supposed to be on the chat today in front of the camera. So we just installed a 24 kilowatt Generac. So is that the Mac Daddy, Ricky, for the Generacs? I think they're like $10,000. Larry's in California, Southern California, 85 and dry for sure. Oh, Clarence, New York, I gotcha. Well, come on in here, Miss Miller. You can come in and join us. So it's Clarence, New York. And what's the temperature there, Ricky? So that's the Mac Daddy, huh? Where'd you get it? Lowe's? Home Depot? It's about 10 grand too, right? Well, Jamie did get a new car. I wonder if I have...
She's still in her pajamas, so she said X-nay on the video.
Oh, she's in her jammies. All right, so anyways, let's see if we can... We'll share that with everybody. I should have just sent it.
Made it the trailer video.
Yeah. So, that's what happens when you're a good kid and staying in school like I taught, like I suggested, and going for her master's degree. Look at her. So Ernie, oh Mike, 35, and snowing. Is it snowing up there in Clarence, New York? Yeah, she wanted either white or black on the car, so it took me a long time to find that car. Actually, went all the way down to Orlando to look at one, and the guy gave me the bait and switch. He sent me this 2019 Acura video. Beautiful car, beautiful interior. It had these sporty seats inside it, and when I got there, I'm like, wait a minute, there's something wrong with there's something about this car, and it just didn't click. So I'm looking at it, I'm like, nah, it just doesn't look like the video. It's not what I expected. So I said, let's go out to the lot. I told the salesperson, let's go out to the lot and look around. We went out, we're all way out in the lot. I'm like, wait a minute. The video, it just binged, the light went off. The seats were kind of orangish. They were this really orange, like leather seat. It was really cool. And I'm like, and I showed it to him. I said, here's the video I was sent. You see the seats on that car? I said, this is the car I came to see. And
Nothing on the screen.
No.
All right.
And he's like, oh, wow. He took a video of the 2019 that we just sold today. I'm like, oh, I go all the way to Orlando. So he was, the guy that I was talking to, though, wasn't the guy that sent me the video. So anyways, wait a minute. So I got to go back to, what is the average time to obtain a lot in On Top of the World? I guess Nancy can kind of answer that a little bit better, right, Nancy? So, I mean, well, look, we don't want to get in trouble with On Top of the World. So, normally they totally changed the way they're in a lottery, right? And so if you didn't get picked in the first lottery, they'd put your name in the hat twice. And then if you didn't get picked in the second lottery, they'd put your name in the hat 3 times. Finally, they just said, you know what, this isn't working. So what we're going to do is we're going to take everybody out of the hat. All the ones that have the most names in there, we're going to give them first dibs. We're going to open up all these lots for months and months and months at an end. And so all the people who have their name in the hat the most, they're going to get first dibs on the lots for the present month, and then the next people are going to get the next month, and so on and so forth. And so, and then they kind of, it just took a while for them to kind of get caught up on their new, but today it's totally different, because today I can tell you things have slowed down. There's not the demand that there was. They're building more houses than they were. So I would say if you reach out to, well, first of all, I have to give my disclaimer here. If you want me to work with you in On Top of the World, then please don't contact them, because if you do, they'll put you in their database, and then they'll say to you and to me, hey, so-and-so is already in our database. They called us 2 months ago, 3 months ago, a month ago, whatever, got information sent to them, and so you didn't procure that buyer, so, you know, we're not going to let you work with these people. They're just going to work with one of our sales associates, and I'm out of the loop. So I just want everybody to know, if you reach out to them, we're out of the picture. if you reach out to me or Blakely, my assistant, she's wonderful. She's awesome. Love her to death. She has caught on to this job so quickly, and she will take care of you. She'll submit the necessary paperwork to get our name associated with you, and then we can work with you. We can provide you all the information you need. We can get you a packet sent to you. We can help you pick out your lot. We can help you pick out your models. I go with you when you go on the model tour and then you can ask me questions as well as the sales associate, because I go on all the tours when we go through the models. And I can't tell you how many people would turn around to me and say, how many times have you been out to these models? And I guess this is pretty boring for you right now because you've seen these so many times. And it's never boring for me because I always learn something every time I go out there, number one. Number two, it's not so much just looking at the models, it's working with the different people that I'm working with. So that's what makes it different and not boring, because I'm working with different folks every single time. But again, I just want to make sure. See, Nancy says, please don't call them, call Ira. Thank you, Nancy. I appreciate that. Because, yeah, it gets real sticky and they get really, they're very regimented as far as that goes, and they won't wave one way or the other. And I don't want to get myself in that situation either. Not with them, not with you. It's just not worth it to me, because I have to work with them on other occasions, and so I'm not even going to create any waves. If you happen to have reached out to them, before you talk to us, it's not even worth it for me to try to explain to them that you found out about On Top of the World through me, through this channel, through this chat, through this live stream, whatever. It's not worth it. So just know that for anybody that's out there. Let's see here. All right, so and we just hope, Wise Christian Channel, that you can definitely buy one this year. 47 and ran on the way in Connecticut. Okay, so 7:30. Love you guys. Thank you so much for joining us on our Monday Night Live chat. All great questions. I mean, this went so fast. An hour and a half went by so fast because of all your questions, of all your interactions. I really appreciate it. Thanks so much for participating. Let's see. Okay. And we'll see you in 2 weeks. I was going to go ahead and say, let's go back to the 1 month live stream, once a month, live stream. But this was such a good interaction tonight. I think we did really well and had a lot of fun and got a lot of questions answered. So as long as we have a lot of participation, we'll keep the every other week thing going on. And as always, if you have any other questions between now and then, homesaroundthevillages@gmail.com, or call me 352-454-9561 is my cell phone number. Or if you can't reach me, if you're calling during the day and I'm busy, I'm working with people or whatever, call Blakely. She's awesome. You'll love talking to her. She's very knowledgeable. She's up to speed. She has my back. She has my calendar. She can set you up an appointment. And her number is 352-204-9026. She would love to hear from you. So, Mike, Kevin, Ernie, Jamala, Sandy, Nancy, everybody, Larry, Gio, good night. Thank you so much for joining, and we'll see you in a couple of weeks.